Rain tracing every line. You were talking about the future like it's still included mine. Your hands were wrapped around mine, but your eyes were somewhere else. I felt the distance growing even though we didn't tell. There was something in the quiet that neither of us said, a fragile kind of warning hanging by a thread. Before the silence fell, we were almost okay. Your voice was still my shelter, your heart still knew my name. Before the silence fell, before we turned away, I wish I held you longer. Before love slipped away. I remember how you looked at me like you were memorizing light, like you were slowly saying goodbye without starting a fight. The room felt colder by the minute, though the heater still was on. Funny how the warmth can fade before the love is gone. If I had read between the lines, would it have changed a thing? Or was the ending already hidden in the ring? Before the silence fell, we were standing on the edge, balancing our fragile hearts on promises we said. Before the silence fell, you almost reached for me, but almost isn't strong enough to hold what used to be. Maybe love doesn't break in noise, maybe it leaves in peace. Now with shattered glass, but with slow release. I thought we had more time to fix what we couldn't see, but sometimes the quiet speaks louder than we mean. Before the silence fell, I should have pulled you close, should have fought the fading before it hurt the most. Before the silence fell, before we let it end, I wish I knew that moment was the last time you were mine. The rain kept falling after you were gone. The night you said you needed space, I nodded like I understood. You packed your dolls inside a bag and left me where I stood. The hallway light was flickering like you knew what this would be. A temporary goodbye that felt too permanent for me. You said it's only for a while, but your eyes said something more. I kept your side warm even after you were gone. the band stayed ready, you'd find your way to me. Your sweater's still behind the door. I never moved a thing. I told myself it wasn't over. Just pause like early spring. The silence wasn't loud at first. It slowly filled the air until the emptiness became the only thing still there. I tried to act like I was strong, but strength felt paper thin. I kept your side warm even when the cold set in. Every night I made a space for where your hand had been. I kept your side warm like hope was still alive. But hope can't hold a body that's already said goodbye. Maybe I was holding on to something already gone. Maybe words can't save what's been fading all along. I thought if I stayed right, if I didn't rearrange, you'd see that nothing here had changed. I kept your side warm until the season changed, until the sheets forgot the outline of your frame. I kept your side warm, but you never came home. And now I'm learning slowly how to sleep alone. Tonight I'll turn the heater off and let it finally be cold. You used to fold your promises from pages of our days, turning simple moments into delicate shapes. We left them by the window like wishes on display, paper cranes of forever waiting for their day. But paper doesn't hold when the weather starts to change. Now the paper cranes are falling in the quiet pouring rain. Every promise we once folded slowly melted into pain. We thought love would last through every storm we'd face, but paper cranes are fragile when the sky forgets your name. I found one on the kitchen floor, edges torn and thin. The ink had started running where your I love you had been. I tried to smooth the creases like I could fix the past, but water leaves its memory even when it's past. Maybe we were beautiful, but we were never strong. Now the paper cranes are falling, drifting down the street. Every vow we whispered at my trembling feet. We build our future lightly with careful hopeful hands. But paper cranes can't survive when love can't understand. Maybe we should have written in something made of stone instead of fragile pages we couldn't hold alone. I don't blame the rain for doing what it does. It only showed the truth of what we really were. Now the paper cranes are falling, and I don't try to say what wasn't meant to weather every kind of wave. I'll let the rain take softly what we couldn't sustain. Some loves are just like paper, beautiful than rain. One last crane dissolves, and I let it go. We didn't scream, we didn't fight, no doors slammed in the dark. We just sat across the table with quiet in our hearts. Your fingers traced the coffee cup like you were buying time, and I kept staring at the wall, pretending I was fine. It wasn't one big moment, it was smaller than a tear. Just two tired souls, too proud to interfere. It was the night we stopped trying, when love began to fade. Not with anger, not with fire, just slowly unmade. We let the silence win, we let the distance grow, and neither one of us had the strength to say, don't go. You asked me if I felt the same. I said I guess I do, but guess was never strong enough to carry me and you. I should have reached across that space, should have broken through the doubt. But fear is such a quiet thing, it turns the lights off out. Maybe love needs bravery more than it needs time. It was the night we stopped trying, when hope began to fall. Not because we didn't care, but we were scared of it all. We thought love would hold itself if we just let it be. But love without intention turns into memory. If I could go back to that chair, that dim and fragile light, I wouldn't sit in silence, I would finally fight. I would tell you that I'm scared, that I don't know what to do, that loving you is hard sometimes, but losing you is too. It was the night we stopped trying, and I still feel it now. How something once so certain became a question mark somehow. We didn't lose each other in a storm or tragedy, we just slowly disappeared chairs left facing empty. Turn the radio on tonight, just to fill the room. But every frequency I try led me back to you. White noise in the background flickers in my chest like something unfinished, refusing to rest. I keep adjusting all the lines, but clarity won't stay. I hear your voice instead, calling out my name, broken through the silence, but never quite the same. Every time I almost reach you, it slips into the dark. Just your voice in static, echoing through my heart. The air feels thin and restless, like it's waiting for a sign. I sit here turning dials on memories of mine. I swear between the hissing sound, but ghosts don't speak in full words, they only have surround. Maybe I'm just holding on to frequencies we lost. I hear your voice in static, fading in and out, like love couldn't stay alive and never fully drown. It travels through the quiet like it's afraid to start. Just your voice instead, breaking through my heart. If I turn the volume higher, will it bring you back to me? Or will the noise just cover what I'm too scared to see? Maybe silence would be kinder than chasing fading sound. But I'm scared of what I'll hear when nothing's left around. I hear your voice in static, and I finally understand. Some signals are meant to stay, no matter how we plan. So I let the station drift away into the empty dark. No more voice in static, just silence in my heart. The signal's gone now, and I stopped searching. The dust settles on the books we never read. In this room, the clocks have all run out of time. I'm tracing shadows where your laughter used to be, counting the echo of a life no longer mine. calling out a name I'm not supposed to say. I reach for the door, but the handle is cold. I'm living a story that's already told. The warmth of your hand is a ghost on my skin. Tell me, how do I let the morning back in? I'm standing in the corner where the light doesn't reach, holding on to fragments of the lessons you teach. The world is turning gold, but I'm fading to gray, watching the memory of us drift away. I'd scream to the stars just to hear you speak, but I'm lost in the shadow where the light doesn't reach. Smells like the rain, a cruel little mercy that feeds on my pain. I've memorized the way the floorboards used to creak. Now the house is so still, it makes my heart feel weak. I'm standing in the corner where the light doesn't reach, holding on to fragments of the lessons you teach. The world is turning gold, but I'm fading to gray, watching the memory of us drift away. I scream to the stars just to hear you speak, but I'm lost in the shadow where the light doesn't story must end. Where the light doesn't reach. The ceiling knows my story now. I stare at it each night, counting cracks like constellations in a sky without light. Your side of the bed is colder, but I don't move away. I've grown used to empty space, it doesn't scare me the same. The clock keeps whispering hours, I pretend I'm not awake. I'm still learning how to sleep without reaching for your hand. Still teaching my heart slowly to understand that not every silence means you'll speak. I'm still learning how to breathe, still learning how to sleep. The dreams don't come as often, but when they do, they stay. standing in the doorway, but never here to stay. I wake before you disappear, like I'm scared of what is true. It's easier to close my eyes than wake up without you. Maybe rest isn't about forgetting, maybe it's just letting go. I'm still learning how to sleep without your shadow near, still folding up the memories I used to hold so dear. The nights are getting quieter, but they're not easy yet. I'm still learning how to live with what I can't forget. They say time makes it louder, but time just makes it slow. Healing isn't sudden, it's learning to let go. Maybe one day I'll close my eyes and not feel incomplete, but tonight I'm just surviving one fragile heartbeat. I'm still learning how to sleep without calling out your name, still trying to accept that nothing feels the same. But I didn't break tonight, and maybe that's enough. I'm still learning how to sleep without your love. The ceiling's still above me, but I close my eyes anyway. You asked me what was on my mind. I said it's nothing new, but silence has a way of hiding everything I never told you. I thought love meant staying calm, not letting feelings show, but holding back the truth inside was slowly letting go. I kept my fears behind my teeth, afraid they'd make you leave. If I had spoken sooner, if I had let you see the fragile parts I buried deep inside of me, maybe we'd still be standing where we used to be. If I had spoken sooner instead of quietly. You weren't asking for perfection, you just wanted truth, but I was scared that honesty would make me lose you. So I built my walls with careful hands, brick by silent brick, not knowing love can't breathe at all when it feels too thick. It wasn't that I didn't care, I just didn't know how. being strong meant quiet, thought weakness meant to cry, but strength is saying I'm afraid before love passes by. If I ever love again, I won't hide behind my pride. I'll let my voice be trembling, but open wide. If I had spoken sooner, I can't rewrite the past, but I can learn the lesson that silence doesn't last. Maybe we were beautiful, even in the fall, and maybe losing you is teaching me it all. Next time I won't stay quiet. I haven't opened the lid in a year or more. The wood is cold like the ocean floor. I used to play for you every single night, while the moon leaned in to catch the light. But now the melody feels like a heavy weight, just another thing I've left to fade. I reach for the middle sea where your hand used to rest, a ghost of a feeling, a hollow in my chest. I wanna play our song, the one that made you stay, but my fingers forget the words they're supposed to say. Now there's just dust on the keys where your heart used to be, a symphony of silence, bitter and sweet. I'm terrified of the sound of the way it might feel to play a love that's no longer real. The white and the black, they're just shades of the blue. I'm just a piano man who's still missing you. I remember the way you lean against the side, with that look in your eyes you didn't try to hide. The music was a bridge, a place where we could meet. Now it's just a dead end on a lonely street. I try to wipe the surface, try to clear the air, but the more I clean, the more I see you're not there. If I play the first chord, will you walk through the door? Or will it just remind me that you don't love me anymore? The harmony is broken, the tuning is gone. I'm just a lonely verse in a song that's gone on too long. Now there's just dust on the keys where your heart used to be, a symphony of silence, bitter and sweet. I'm terrified of the sound of the way it might feel to play a love I'll just leave it closed, let the silence stay. Maybe the dust will wash the memories away. Pages haven't turned since you were mine. The air grew thin, the sky a bruised up blue, and suddenly the house was missing you. You didn't leave a note or make a sound, just left your shadow scattered on the ground. The morning frost is biting at the glass. I'm watching all the shivering hours pass. The sweater that you left is on the chair. I'm still not brave enough to move it from there. Oh, the gold turned into gray the day you went away. You left in October and the world began to fray. The fire in the hearth is finally burned out, and I'm the only one left to wander about. I'm freezing in the memory of your summer glow, watching the first flakes of a lonely winter snow. Everything died when the season was through. You left in October, and I'm still waiting for you. Overgrown with withered vines. I'm reading through our history in the lines of letters that I never had the heart to send, to a story that I wasn't ready to end. The wind is howling through the empty halls, echoing your name against the weeping walls. Was it the way the light began to fade, or the heavy promises that we never made? You took the warmth and left me with the chill. Now the heart of this house is standing perfectly still. Watching the first flakes of a lonely winter snow. Everything died when the season was through. left in October, and I'm still waiting for you. The leaves are all gone now, the branches are bare. I'm still in October, but you aren't there. The sheets are straight, the room is cold and still. I've counted every shadow on the wall. I try to force my racing mind to quiet down, but the silence is the loudest thing of all. I'm staring at the place we used to lay. The indentation's almost gone away. Close my eyes and the memories start to leak. The heavy weight of words I didn't speak. I'm chasing ghosts until the sky turns blue, just trying to find a rest that doesn't taste like you. It's been 1,000 nights since you've been gone, but I'm still learning how to sleep alone. The darkness feels like water in my lungs, a bitter song that's never quite been sung. I'm wide awake while the world has moved along, and I'm still learning how to sleep now that you're gone. The coffee's cold before the sun even arrives. I'm living through the wreckage of our lives. My eyes are burning, but the dreams won't come. I'm terrified of what I've now become. A hollow man in a house that's far too big, buried in a hole I didn't mean to dig. They say that time is a healer, but time is just a thief. It steals the little moments and leaves me with the grief. I'm tired of being tired, I'm tired of the fight. Just let me close my eyes and make it through the night. It's been 1,000 nights since you've been gone, but I'm still learning how to sleep alone. The darkness feels like water in my lungs, a bitter song that's never quite been sung. I'm wide awake while the world has moved along, and I'm still learning how to sleep. It's been 1,000 nights since you've been gone, but I'm still learning how to sleep alone. The darkness feels like water in my lungs, a bitter song that's never quite been sung. drift away, but the morning's coming and I'm still awake. The dust settles on the books we never read. In this empty room, the clocks have all run out of time. I'm tracing shadows where your laughter used to be, counting the echoes of a life no longer mine. Even the silence feels like it's breathing, calling out a name I'm not supposed to say. I reach for the door, but the handle is cold. I'm living a story that's already told. The warmth of your hand is a ghost on my skin. Tell me, how do I let the morning back in? I'm standing in the corner where the light doesn't reach, holding on to fragments of the lessons you teach. The world is turning gold, but I'm fading to gray, watching the memory of us drift away. I'd scream to the stars just to hear you speak, but I'm lost in the shadow where the light doesn't reach. I found your old coat, it still smells like the rain, a cruel little mercy that feeds on my pain. I memorized the way the floorboards used to creak. Now the house is so still, it makes my heart feel weak. I'm standing in the corner where the light doesn't reach, holding on to fragments of the lessons you teach. The world is turning gold, but I'm fading to gray, watching the memory of us drift away. I'd scream to the stars just to hear you speak, but I'm lost in the shadow where the light doesn't reach. Don't leave me here in the dark, I'm losing the glow of the spark. If I close my eyes, can I find you again? Or is this just how the story must end? The sun is rising over the hill, but in this corner it's midnight still, where the light doesn't reach. I watched your car turn at the end of the street. The silence in the hallway is heavy and smooth. I had the words gathered, a storm in my chest, but I let them settle, I let them all rest. Now the house is a hollow, a shell of a home, and I'm just a shadow learning to be alone. The clock on the mantle mental is ticking too fast, while I'm still tethered to a ghost of the past. I kept it all inside, I played it so safe. Now I'm just a footnote on a forgotten page. If I had spoken sooner, would you still be here? Would the smoke of our bridge finally start to clear? I held my breath until I started to drown, while you were just waiting for a reason to sit down. Now the I love yous are ghosts in the air, and I'm shouting at a room where you're no longer there. I see a ghost in the steam of my tea, a version of us that's no longer me. I should have told you that the world was too bright whenever you walked in and turned on the light, but I stayed in the dark, I kept my lips sealed, and left all the wounds that were never quite healed. Is it too late for the truth to be told when the coffee is frozen and my heart is cold? I'm a master of silence, a king at regret for the words that I haven't quite managed yet. If I had spoken sooner, would you still be here? Would the smoke of our bridge finally start to clear? I held my breath until I started to drown, while you were just waiting for a reason to sit down. Now the I love yous are ghosts in the air, and I'm shouting at a room where you're no longer there. The words are ready, but the audience is gone. If I had spoken sooner, I wouldn't be this alone. I didn't wake up reaching for your side. The morning didn't feel like somewhere I should hide. The air in the kitchen was easy to breathe. For a moment I didn't want you to leave. I saw your old sweater and I didn't break down. It's like the ghost of us finally left this town. The silence used to cut like a jagged glass. Now it's just a shadow on the hallway grass. I'm not drowning, I'm just treading the deep, finding the rhythm I need to keep. It's a little less heavy today, I think. I'm standing on the edge, but I didn't sink. The stone in my chest is a little more light. I'm not fighting the walls in the middle of the night. I still miss the way your name felt on my tongue, but I'm finally letting the song be sung. just for today. Walk past the cafe where we used to sit, and I didn't feel the world start to split. I remember the coffee, but not the regret of the things that we said that I haven't forgot yet. It's a strange kind of lonely, a quiet goodbye, like a cloud finally drifting out of the sky. I'm not saying I'm whole, I'm not saying I'm fine, but I'm reclaiming the space that used to be mine. 1 inch at a time, I'm finding the floor, learning what happens behind a closed door. It's a little less heavy today, I think. I'm standing on the edge, but I didn't sink. The stone in my chest is a little more light. I'm not fighting the walls in the middle of the night. I still miss the way your name felt on my tongue, but I'm finally letting the song be sung. It's a little less heavy, I'm still on the ground, a little less heavy. The sunlight's leaning on the kitchen floor, in the very spot where we said no more. No shouted words, no slamming of the gate, just two tired hearts accepting their fate. We folded the maps and we put out the fire, lost in the smoke of a fading desire. I'm not looking for someone to blame. The stars in the sky still whisper your name. It wasn't a failure, it wasn't a lie, just a long, slow season of saying goodbye. But we loved the best we could with what we had. Through the quiet good and the screaming bad, we gave every piece until there was nothing left. Living in the wake of a beautiful theft. The bridge didn't break, we just reached the end of being lovers and trying to be friends. In the hollow of the wood, it's understood. We love the best we could. I found a photo in a dusty drawer from a summer we don't talk about anymore. You were laughing at something I'd never repeat. Before the world felt so bitter and sweet, I'll keep the warmth and I'll let go of the chill. The ghost of us is standing perfectly still. Maybe some hearts aren't meant to survive the pressure of keeping a promise alive. We didn't give up, we just gave it away to the silence that follows the end of the day. Yeah, we loved the best we could with what we had. Through the quiet good and the screaming bad, we gave every piece until there was nothing left. Living in the wake of a beautiful theft. The bridge didn't break, we just reached the end of being lovers and trying to be friends. In the hollow of the wood, it's understood. We love the best we could. No regrets, just a heavy heart knowing that we had to fall apart. We love the best we could. The storm is finally broken, the clouds are thinning out. I'm standing in the doorway, forgetting what we fought about. I used to say the weather was the reason we felt cold, a convenient little story that we both let ourselves uphold. But the sky is perfectly clear tonight, not a shadow in the air. And I finally see the distance in the way you're standing there. I'm tired of looking for excuses in the lightning and the thunder, tired of watching us both slowly pulled under. The umbrella's in the corner and the ground is nearly dry, but there's still a winter living in the corners of your eye. There's no more blaming the rain for the way we fell apart, for the leaks in the ceiling and the cracks inside my heart. The storm didn't break us, it just showed us where we're weak. Now the silence is a language that we're both too tired to speak. It wasn't the wind, and it wasn't the gray. We just let the fire slowly flicker away. No more blaming the rain. I remember how we'd huddle when the sky began to pour, like the world outside was something we could simply just ignore. We thought the flood would bring us close, would keep us in one place, but the water only highlighted the hollow in our space. Now the sun is coming up, a cruel and steady light, stripping all the comfort from the safety of the night. If I could call a hurricane to hide the way I feel, maybe then this ending wouldn't seem so sharp and real. But the puddles are all inside my heart. The storm didn't break us, it just showed us where we're weak. Now the silence is a language that we're both too tired to speak. It wasn't the wind, and it wasn't the gray. We just let the fire slowly flicker away. No more blaming the rain. The clouds are gone, but I'm still soaked through. It wasn't the weather, it was just me and you. No more blaming the forgot how to feel the warmth of the sun. I've been a statue since the day we were done. The air in my chest was a frozen sea. I was a ghost in the life that belonged to me. But today the wind didn't cut quite as deep, and I finally woke from a winter of sleep. I'm touching the surface, I'm breaking the ice. I've paid for our ending with a heavy price. The silence is moving, the shadows are thin. I'm letting the color back into my skin. I'm finding my pulse again, beat by slow beat. Learning to walk on these lonely streets. The rhythm was buried under the snow, but I'm feeling the heat of a spark start to glow. It's not quite a dance and it's not quite a song, but I'm finding the place where my heart might belong. After the silence, after the rain, I'm finding my pulse again. I saw my reflection in a window downtown, and I didn't immediately look to the ground. There's a light in the wreckage, a small steady flame that doesn't go out when I whisper your name. I'm still a bit shaky, I'm still a bit numb, but I'm not terrified of what I'll become. It's a fragile vibration, a quiet I'm here, the sound of a future starting to appear. I'm not holding my breath, house again. The count starts today. 1, 2, I'm finding my way. I don't recognize the person in the glass. I'm a stranger to the years that used to pass. I used to hold my breath and wait for the rain. Now I'm just a vessel for this quiet kind of pain. You took the edges and you rounded them out, leaving me with shadows and a persistent doubt. I'm not the same man who stood at your door. I've forgotten what I used to be searching for. The maps have all changed, the landmarks are gone, and I'm just a traveler who stayed for too long. It was the kind of love that changes you deep, the kind of secrets that you're destined to keep. You rewrote the rhythm of my every heartbeat, then left me standing on a one-way street. I'm a different version of soul rearranged by a love that left me completely changed. I find myself using the words that you said, like ghosts of a conversation stuck in my head. I drink my coffee black the way that you do, a tiny bitter habit I inherited from you. It's like you moved the furniture inside of my mind and left the old me somewhere far behind. Was I too hollow or were you too bright to leave such a permanent mark on the night? They say people come and they say people go, but they don't tell you how much of yourself they'll bestow. Yeah, it was the kind of love that changes you deep, the kind of secrets that you're destined to keep. You rewrote the rhythm of my every heartbeat, then left me standing on a one-way street. I'm a different version of soul rearranged by a love that left me completely changed. Yeah, it was the kind of love that changes you deep, echo of where you have been. The kind of love that changes you. We were a house that was never quite built, a garden of roses that started to wilt before the first bloom, before the first frost, a beautiful something that already felt lost. We had the blueprints, we had the design, but the stars wouldn't let your hand stay in mine. We didn't fail, we just didn't arrive at the place where a promise could stay alive. I'm not holding on to a bitter regret for the almost forever I haven't reached yet. So thank you for the almost, the nearly and could, for the moments we shared when we both understood. It wasn't a lifetime, just a breath in the air, a beautiful ghost that's no longer there. I'm grateful for the light, even if it was brief, for the love that was borrowed from under the grief. Thank you for the almost. It was enough to believe. I'll keep the whispers of what might have been, like a favorite book that I'll never read again. You were a chapter, a turning of tide, a place in my heart where I didn't have to hide. And we were a bridge that didn't quite span the sea, but you still brought the better out of me. It's a strange kind of peace, a quiet it's okay to watch the potential just flicker away. I'd rather have almost known the touch of your skin than to never have known where to even begin. Yeah, thank you for the almost, the nearly and could, for the moments we shared when we both understood. It wasn't a lifetime, just a breath in the air, a beautiful ghost that's no longer left. I'm grateful for the light, even if it was brief, for the love that was borrowed from under the grief. Thank you for the almost. It was enough to believe. The door is half open, the room is half full. I'm feeling the push and accepting the pull. Thank you for the almost. I'm standing in the hallway where we used to speak. The silence here is heavy and my knees are getting weak. I called your name just to hear the sound, but it's only a vibration on the cold hard ground. The air is still, the dust is finally clear, and I'm facing the ending that I always fear. The words we threw are fading in the dark, like the dying embers of a once bright spark. I'm listening for a reason, for a sign of us still there, but I'm only met with the chill of the morning air. What happens after the echo, when the sound has died away? When the I love yous have nothing left to say? I'm trapped in the hollow of the space we used to fill, where the heart of this house is standing perfectly still. The song is over, but the silence is too loud. I'm searching for your face in every passing cloud. After the echo, I'm still waiting for the sound of you. I found your favorite book on the bedside table. I tried to read the ending, but I wasn't able. Every page is a reminder of the way it used to be before you became a ghost in the memory of me. I'm walking through the rooms like a stranger in my own life, cutting through the quiet with a blunt, rusted knife. Is this the part where I finally let go, when the vibration stops and the colors start to slow? I'm reaching for the vibration, for the ghost of a touch, but the silence is winning and it hurts far too much. What happens after the echo, when the sound has died away? When the I love yous have nothing left to say? I'm trapped in the hollow of the space we used to fill, where the heart of this house is standing perfectly still. The song is over, but the silence is too loud. I'm searching for your face in every passing cloud. After the echo, I'm still waiting for the sound of you. The last note is falling, the vibration is gone. I'm alone in the silence after the dawn.